Hello everybody. So, 40 years into living as a dyspraxic, alhamdulillah, I thought I would talk a little bit about why I wanted to spread awareness of dyspraxia. And it's sort of disappointing for me that I haven't reached a lot of Dyspraxics with this channel, and the Dyspraxics are my tribe, if you heard of this word. When you sort of like get along with people and you're on the same wavelength. Dyspraxics are definitely my tribe. I found that. However, the way my YouTube channel picked up was when I talked about my religious beliefs. And then suddenly I got a big audience of people who wanted to support me in that. Alhamdulillah. It was really unexpected that it took that turn. And it's definitely a blessing because it showed me that I'm really not alone. And, when we're very isolated, which I quite often have been, it feels like there's nobody feeling us and there's nobody there for us. It can feel like that. But it really highlighted to me when I did some work about my religion on this channel, how many of us are really kind of here to cheer each other on. Alhamdulillah. And there's been a lot of benefits that have come out of that as well, because I've made a resolution that this year I'm going to study Arabic, inshallah. And this is a kind of shameful thing that I haven't studied Arabic. I know my prayers. I am a linguist, so it's not difficult for me to study languages. However, after practicing Islam for 15 years, I still haven't got around to studying Arabic, so that's pretty bad. But it's really motivated me to get a lot of encouragement from my Muslim brothers and sisters who watched my videos about, my experience of Islam so far. It's motivated me to decide I'm going to study Arabic, inshallah, and I started studying now, so it's about time. Astaghfirullah. So alhamdulillah, that's like one of the many good things that came out of it, but it took such a different turn than I expected. So what I'm thinking is, because dyspraxics are not represented, this is the big issue. Even though we have Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe is a dyspraxic. I don't know him, but it's a fact that you find online if you look up Daniel Radcliffe. Ooh, clicked my knuckle in. So one of the most famous and successful people career-wise in the world is a dyspraxic. However, we get sort of zero airtime. And the trouble is, the tribe isn't really there for each other. I mean, I always think I'm sounding cheesy. Tribe does sound a bit cheesy, doesn't it? It's because I've come from some spiritual backgrounds over the last few years. I've researched spiritual stuff, so yeah, this word is like tribe. Actually, no, it's not from that. It's from my marketing background. Yeah, the tribe idea is from marketing. Yeah, so it's not that cheesy, is it? If it's in marketing. There you go, so tribe. It does sound a bit cheesy though, doesn't it? But you know what I mean? It would be good if we could sort of get back to that simplicity of physically having a tribe and different personalities and generations work together and support each other in a sort of organic way. Right, so what am I on? I have to try and get back to the point now. This is part of my dyspraxia, that a lot of tangents can happen at any moment. So the point of talking about dyspraxia is because there are a lot of people out there like me who felt alone. Okay, so yeah, it needs to be really, really brought to light, and I'm not going to expect to kind of achieve that with this single video, but maybe just to introduce the fact that we're not represented yet. Okay, and it's a crying shame, because having dyspraxia has a massive influence on who you are, how you live, what you experience in your life. And as dyspraxics, we have a lot of the things in common. So without realising it, there's a lot of us going through certain challenges and not knowing that is actually all part of the dyspraxia. Okay, so this is unscripted as always because I can't plan ahead. But I do have some information from a survey I did, so I'm going to try to skim through that first. I asked some of my fellow dyspraxics, how good can it be, how bad can it be? So I was trying to get an overview of, is anyone struggling quite as much as I am? I know there are people who are struggling quite as much as I am, and some of them are the prominent people in the dyspraxia community who I've communicated with before, and it's really heartbreaking that we end up in that our life can be just such a disaster because of lack of understanding and compassion from society and not having the right support. So I wanted to ask this question, and some of it is really, you could say it's optimistic. Okay, so maybe I should start there. More people in the survey, when I asked how happy they are with their life right now, more people said that they're happy or very happy. And a couple of people like me, astaghfirullah, said very unhappy or, unhappy, but the majority said, that's the word I was looking for, that they are happy with their life. Alhamdulillah. So, right, let's start at the beginning. Has your dyspraxia affected these parts of your life? Job and career has negatively affected 88% of people that I surveyed. Yeah, so for that one, what I've experienced in job and career is I've got so much enthusiasm and I can learn things, and I love people and getting along with people, or at least I want to get along with people. But the dyspraxia has majorly affected all of my jobs, mostly because of burnout, because I have to, as a dyspraxic, everything I do is hard work, and I don't know if that's why all dyspraxics tend to be hard workers, because that's quite a common trait for us, that we are very hard working, but maybe it's because we have to, because even if we just do something small or simple, we have to work hard to do that to the same standard of somebody else. Okay. Then I was just thinking about something earlier, being able to do something with a kind of amazing precision, because sometimes we can kind of overcome our dyspraxic trait and then be ridiculously good at something that dyspraxics are not usually able to do. So, like, you could see dyspraxics who are extremely talented in certain sports, even though the most well-known probably trait of dyspraxia is that we're like clumsy and not coordinated. So, right, is this a tangent? I wanted to talk about precision, but that's a tangent. Okay, so job and career, yeah, burnout. It's really hard. Because a 5-day week, Richard Branson pointed this out, didn't he? We should have a 4-day week and a 3-day weekend. He's a dyslexic. Yeah, I really want to know if he's dyspraxic, because he might be. Because the thing is, a lot of us, I should say a lot of us, like a lot of dyspraxics don't know they're dyspraxic because there's not much knowledge about dyspraxia out there, there's not much information. And then even for the people who are dyspraxic and know, they might not realise all these different things are explained by the dyspraxia diagnosis. And then, secondly, thirdly, wherever I'm up to, they might have been diagnosed when they were little, and then it's been, swept under the rug. That's happened to several people that I know, because they found out later in life, that's why my life has been so hard until now, why did nobody tell me? And then all the accommodations that we need. Okay, so this is the point. This is my summary of the video, because you can see I'm a bit haphazard with my order here. It is that as dyspraxics, we need, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to speak for like in general and myself, we need certain accommodations to be able to just live in a safe and reasonable quality of life. We need certain support, varying from person to person what kind of support it might be. And then because we could often come across as being very competent or being very mature as a child, that was a word that was used against me, or just being labelled as shy when we actually can't articulate and speak. We're sort of going, we slip through the net much too often because of the lack of understanding. So the summary of the video is, why do I want to raise awareness of dyspraxia? Because there are loads of us. There's loads of us, and our quality of life can be really severely affected by people not understanding us and realising that we're not exaggerating, because it's really disheartening when you try so hard and then you want to achieve something and then somebody will just say, just do it, as if it's just nothing. Ugh, trying not to go into a rant now. Right, so job and career. And this is really sad. Okay, so how has dyspraxia affected these parts of your life? The second one that was most affected is taking part in hobbies and interests. Over 84% of people who answered the survey said dyspraxia affected their ability to be able to do that, So that's really sad, I think, because that is a big part of quality of life, isn't it? I mean, non-dyspraxics, of course, they could sort of like go away from their hobbies and interests and kind of get into the humdrum and not enjoy their life, but that's not the same. What we're saying is that we actually can't pursue the interest because of reasons with the dyspraxia. That's really understandable to me, because sometimes dyspraxia can cause or come with other health conditions. Oh, my toes have gone numb. Long-term health conditions like hypermobility, EDS, and sometimes other neurodiversity, that's a word I don't like, but like things like ADHD and autism or dyslexia and all the others. Oh, I never made that list, did I? Tourette's and all the what am I up to? Right, so I asked the people in my survey if they'd ever experienced being bullied or mocked because of their dyspraxia, and everybody had. Apart from one person who said she'd had no adverse childhood experiences. Mashallah. So apart from that, everybody had. And low self-esteem was 96% as well. Yeah. Can you live independently? Yes, most people said yes, but 20% said no, or I don't know. And some people said similarly to how I feel, which is that they do live alone, but it's a safety concern. You know, we have working memory. We don't have working memory. Well, I don't, as part of my dyspraxia, so I can't remember what I'm doing. I can't sort of like safely cook a meal, because if I move away from the cooking, it's gonna probably start a fire or something. It's not funny. Or people also said that they're too independent. So yeah, I would say I've had that experience as well, because then it gives the appearance that you're coping, but you just suffer alone. So that's not good. And they can live alone, but at a cost to their mental health. And ouch, that they have to rely on the family members that they live with. Yeah, so they can live alone, but if they have certain support. And the biggest thing about living alone, I asked if you lived alone and which of these would be affected by your dyspraxia to the extent that they would make daily life difficult. Then I gave a list of things that might be affected, and the highest one was managing stuff, cleaning and tidying. So if you're not sure if you're dyspraxic, if you have trouble with managing your stuff, cleaning and tidying, yeah, let's say you probably are, because there's a lot of you out there who haven't been diagnosed. And the biggest challenges that we can't overcome because of our dyspraxia, people underestimate us. And everything feels so difficult. I'm not sure I'll ever cope with everyday stuff. Yeah, that was what one of my respondents said that, and I really agree. Lack of progress, slow learning anything, especially involving coordination, and struggles that come along with being dyspraxic, like the anxiety and being able to accept yourself, not being able to work full time. Yeah, and things like driving. That's the one I was trying not to go off on a rant about earlier, because it's something, yeah, very common for us that, depending on your circumstances, it can be quite essential, can't it, to drive, and I can't. It's really sad that I didn't have the opportunity to learn to drive when I could have maybe had support. Oh, getting quite uncomfortable here. Oh, by the way, somebody said I can't walk, I have to run. Yeah, I feel that way, because, and the thing is, I used to be a runner. It's like, when you're going along, then you're in the momentum. This is, well, I think the reason, but I just made this up. Walking is quite difficult because you have to try and concentrate, and you just, don't know what you're supposed to do with your arms and legs. And socially. I'm so rubbish socially. Okay, now the thing is, some of us dyspraxics, we've done these amazing things. I might just read out this list. It's quite long, actually. What are some of the things you're proud of about your life? Mountain climbing, passed the driving test, got a degree, postgraduate diploma, degree, masters, and the person who got the masters was told at school that they would never achieve much. Ugh. Resilient. Somebody said little to feel proud of. I'm so sorry. I don't know anything about that person's life, but I feel like that, and I've achieved loads of stuff, so I don't know if they're unrealistic about what they've achieved. Also, it's just part of society, I think, that we're expected to achieve in a certain way, but it's not actually true that we are only successful if we achieve in certain ways outwardly. Inner work and self-development and contributing to the people around you or just being a positive force in the world. I don't know. There's a lot of other things that we can do without having a kind of amazing CV full of what we've achieved. Unique thinking, yes. Creativity. Managed to keep living alone, mashallah. Good job. Financially independent. Kind and caring person. Good amount of empathy. Empathy is a very good... Okay, so this is why you need to support us, because we're the most empathic. I always never really understand why there's two words, empathetic. We are very empathic and loving kind of people. So just give us that little bit of support that we need with various things, and then we're going to give you the world. We're so generous and we're really empathic. Somebody else couldn't think of anything to be proud of. Someone said that they'll become a mother soon. Someone built a freelance copy editing career, working with major publishers that mean a lot to them. And somebody said being able to live independently, working part-time, a doctorate in clinical psychology, and worked in the NHS for 20 years. So people have managed to do a lot of good in the world, mashallah, despite the challenges dyspraxia can bring. Always making time for people important to them, despite lots of challenges. Somebody who never bails on their friends. Stable job, masters, another one. See, we can be quite a brainy bunch. We can be judged as being very unintelligent, but most, I guess I always tend to think people are intelligent because there's different kind of intelligence, isn't there? But having said that, I would still say most dyspraxics I know have more of a... I need to drink now. Okay, I'll have to try and hurry up. are more intelligent, but we get judged as being like either just daft or unintelligent. I got called it the other day. Somebody said to me, "Oh, I thought dyspraxia was supposed to affect your coordination, not your intelligence." Thanks. Anyway, always make time for people. Yeah, where am I up to? Helping clients who are accepting. So, yeah, being alive. Yes, I really agree with this. Something to be proud of. Being alive. Yes. I've really been through some of the darkest times for some of the longest times because of not being understood, and a lot of that related to my dyspraxia and being judged by even people that you would hope would be your support. So yes, being alive, definitely. Alhamdulillah. And we have directed my first show this year, background in drama, mashallah. Able to coach Dyspraxics, going to college, persevering, passing driving test at 50. So maybe I do still have time. Qualifying as a social worker, big commitment to social justice, empathic, yes, solution focused. Boom. And what I've achieved despite having dyspraxia. My kids make me proud every day. Achievements, I can write quite well. Getting a doctorate, even though it took years longer than my peers. Teaching career, and everything I've achieved despite dyspraxia. 2 people said that, one of them was me. Yeah, because that was what I said. I'm proud of everything I achieved despite my dyspraxia. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so there's only one question left, which is good because I need a break from filming. Well, actually, I've skipped one question. Most people in the survey also have other disabilities alongside the dyspraxia, 64% of them. Which time in your life did you feel safe, supported and happy, if any? And it was really outstanding? No, it was really, is that the word? Noticeable that the answer seemed to depend on whether we had that loving partner or whether we had that family support and understanding. So which time in your life did you feel safe, happy, supported? Since I met my fiance, when I was younger, worse as ageing. I don't know if that's because of family support and then having to move out, I'm not sure. And then not applicable, somebody said, so they don't feel that way. Yeah, I would say that probably applies to me as well. I don't feel safe, supported and happy as such yet. 27 years ago when my parents were alive, when I was a student, learned to accept in 30s and 40s. I guess they might be referring to when they learn to accept themselves to some level or accept their dyspraxic traits. This is another important reason I think we should raise awareness, because, for example, with the memory issues that come with dyspraxia, somebody could be really frustrated going around the house saying, like, why, I've just walked in here, what for? 100 times a day. But if you know it's part of dyspraxia and you're dyspraxic, then you're just more patient with yourself. You just know it's part of it and you just have to kind of like carry on anyway. So yeah, we need that for our self-compassion to sort of realise why. Somebody else said never. They never felt safe, happy, supported. Somebody felt safe, supported and happy when they had trouble at school and their parents helped them get the help that they needed. Mashallah. And someone else when they were living with their parents, but they've sadly now passed away. This is a good point. I'd like to do a whole video about this. Someone said that they were okay when they were at uni. Thanks to the structure, places to eat, demands of life were lower, relatively well accepted. Yeah, I really, really feel that. I mean, that's not my personal experience of uni, but it's more about when there's a structure and we know what we're supposed to be doing in this, you know, like being at school. So what happened, even though I hated school, but when you finished school or education, then it's just really difficult as a dyspraxic to know to get around to anything really. Clients supportive of difficulties, protected without being treated like a child, mashallah. This is how I feel now with my daughter's new school. They communicate with me, alhamdulillah, without judging me. They communicate with me clearly, they write things down for me, they talk to me face to face, so I don't miss out on getting emotional now. You knew it was going to happen sooner or later. I don't miss out on things which I could support her with. You know, alhamdulillah, because of the way that they communicate with me without treating me like a child. In a new environment, meeting lots of people. So some people feel good in that environment. And in drama, there are many neurodiverse, and there's a common ground. When I met my partner, have close friends but hard to match schedules, always felt out of place. Yeah, we do tend to feel a variant. Yeah, that's the thing as well. If you're wondering whether you're dyspraxic, it's a kind of feeling of not fitting in. Quite often it goes that way. But not seeing what's the problem with me. I don't know what I'm doing differently. But we can be accepted by each other, so that's why we need our tribe. We need our tribe to come out into the light. Inshallah. Someone else said they'd never felt that way, and someone said since meeting their husband and having kids, the husband is wonderful, takes up the slack, accepts them for who they are, friends and family support, and in France, when they were friends, weather and routine. Okay, so alhamdulillah. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I think I will go and get a drink, and my lips have gone really dry as well. Alright, bye everybody.